But yeah, like I was saying, I think I think something that would help alleviate the problem, the start time problems, is having people there who know how to properly like do pre-registration, like registrations on the door. I mean, it is not that hard of a problem to look for a name out in the computer. All you got to do is Control F. You know?
Cibernetico, I want to break your balls. I love breaking your balls. I like stopping you in mid-sentence. Rodney, got it. You got to split out. You want to get something out there?
Yeah, man. I just want to say, thanks for having me on the show. Thanks for letting, when the smaller guys in the community, voice their opinion on what's going on. I just want to make a quick shout out to Run That Back. We're working with them up in Scarsdale, and we're starting a weekly every Friday. You can contact me on Facebook or Twitter for more information on that. And also, not to be two-faced about situation, but we're gonna put KPV is gonna put their hand into running brackets and tournaments at Apex, and we're gonna do our best to make sure that the community gets a fair shot at attending a tournament of that caliber. So we're gonna
MK9 there.
Yes, I'm gonna talk to them, get some MK9 there, and
yeah, definitely, man. I don't know why it's not there when it was there last year.
I know. I'll talk to them about it. We're involved with Apex crew, so we could definitely talk to them about it. Try to get some MK9 up there, and and we're gonna play our part. We're gonna get in there. We're gonna be as fair as possible to everyone. Hollywood or not. So we want everyone to have a good time.
Yo, let us know.
Did I get you a
NEC
shirt
had
or no?
117 people.
Did I get you a shirt or no? Or did I?
Oh, you owe me a shirt. You said
I
you
owe
get me
you.
a shirt.
Yeah, I only had smalls, and I didn't think a small was gonna cut it.
No, small just fit my finger. So but yeah.
I'll
again,
get it up to you. I'll get it up to you within the week.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for having me on. Shouts to KB, Bifuteki, Run That Back, you guys, and just have a good night.
All right, man.
Keep fatalities going.
All right, man.
All right.
All right, back to Cibernetico as I interrupted him twice now. Cibernetico?
Oh, what's up? Sorry about that.
You're back.
Yeah, but anyway, like I was saying, I mean, I think that would alleviate all the problems of the time constraint. Because from what I understand, what is it? The NEC Mortal Kombat tournament started at what time? At 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
No,
and to me that's just silly, and that goes back to a lot of these players staying up all night playing casuals, expecting well, don't worry about it. I'm sure they could accommodate us. I'm like, well, there's lots of other people here that are right on time in the morning to get everything going. Not to mention all these guys, like putting their own time. Putting their own time to do whatever they need to do to get the show on, and which is something I've always wondered. How come these TO guys? How come they just don't let the Mortal Kombat community, let the Guilty Gear guys, let the BlazBlue, let the Marvel guys deal with their own registrations, and then just go back to report back to them? I can't imagine it must be that hard.
It should, you know what it is. Like I said,
Just report back to them. I can't imagine it must be that hard.
Brady, you got your mic. You're muted. All right. You got the video only supports up to 9 people. That's it. I'm up to 9. The problem is, like I said, there's never a tournament that's with no hitches, and that's just reality. I don't look. The thing with 16-bit. I'm not, and I understand people were harping on him, but you know what? The guy's a part of this community. I mean, I'll tell you straight up, Pig the Hut breaks my balls more than anybody in this community, and I get pissed at him. I curse him out under my breath. Sometimes I curse him out on text. I mean, the guy said, mute your fucking mic. And like I said before, I have no ill will towards the guy. I'm glad he's a good performer. It really is a esports type. Yeah, you keep whistling and I'll whistle you the fuck off. He's a good competitor and I enjoy watching him play. No Derp Tile, I can't remod you because you were demodded from DarKNaTaS, and if DarKNaTaS wants to mod you, he can mod you.
I enjoy watching him play. No, DarKNaTaS, I can't remod you because you were demodded from DarKNaTaS, and if DarKNaTaS wants to mod you, he can mod you. Enjoy watching them play.
We don't want to hear me talk.
No, DarKNaTaS, I can't remod you because you were demodded from
Tom Brady. Thank you.
There you go.
Okay. Basically, like I said, I have no ill words towards the guy. I wish him the best. He's one of my, I guess if you want, he's like, he's that Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan rivalry for me. Of course, me being Hulk Hogan.
Back in the day or current Ric Flair versus Hogan?
Oh, I don't know. It's both these old motherfuckers where they come out in wheelchairs now?
No, not yet.
They can't even do fucking moves. They just run. All they do is elbow drops and kicks and punches to the balls.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Supposedly, Hogan is contemplating having one last match. Apparently, Hogan thinks that's good wrestling or a good show.
Somebody, is this? All right, Natus, turn your camera off, Natus.
Why? What happened?
It fucks it up.
Fucks what up?
It fucks up Skype on me.
What's it doing to your Skype?
It knocked off fucking Pig. It knocked off Brady.
It did?
Yeah, you can't. I can only do up to 9 calls. After 8, I can't do video no more.
Okay. I told you stop adding so many damn people.
Yeah. Anyway, my point being is I got no beef with the guy. It's just it is competitive nature. We may not see eye to eye on things. I will fight him tooth and nail for everything that I want. Limbo, you know why you don't get a trophy? Because you suck. Who lost the Super Bowl? Nobody gives a shit. It matters who won. And Thunder 88 won, therefore they get a trophy. But, I understand where you're coming from with the...
James, we can't hear you.
What do you mean you can't hear me now? What do you mean you can't hear me now?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Microphone's low. We can't hear you.
Jesus Christ, I'm getting fucking... You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting so many fucking messages. James is silent. I got nothing to say except to fucking Limbo Dog. You get no trophy. You get nothing. Just like Willy Wonka said, you get shit. Second place sucks.
Let me ask you this. Everybody's there for a competitive nature, of course. That's what a lot of those guys go for. I just go there just to goof off. I'm sure you do the same thing.
As do I.
But being that it's what is it now? 13 years going on to this stuff. And, this obviously just isn't only NEC. This is every single grassroots major. Like, being it at a competitive level, shouldn't you have the staff there to deal? Well, I'm not even talking about, the MK guy staff or everybody else, the games. I'm talking about the people that run the actual tournament. Like Big E, shouldn't you have people there ready to basically, hey, listen, I need this to get done in a certain time. I can't start these games at 4:00 and expect them to be done at 2:00 because that might be something wrong with the hotel. I remember I was watching some of the stream and I believe it was Brady telling Phil, hey, listen, my next match probably won't even be until 1 a.m. I just don't see how that's acceptable.
I don't know. You know what it is, and I have to agree with the guys who always say, MLG treats us special because it's all they got is MK. All the other games drop off, and the other tournaments, they do shit on us, and that's a fact of reality that we have to accept. Mm-hmm. But when you look at it, no, there's no staff. They don't have anybody helping us. You know who's helping us? The people that are helping us are the people that are in the community. The Shots,
exactly.
The Summons, the
that.
Dark Robs. Those are the guys that are doing it. And the volunteers. The volunteers are the same people in the community.
And I understand that, and hey, listen, if you're not appreciative of what those guys are doing, then, you really have no damn say in any kind of matter. Because if you go and shit on some of those guys, it's like, dude, are you there pretty much giving up your entire weekend? To doing something for free. You could be outside with your friends hanging out, but no, instead you want to accommodate, for a lot of these guys that you may never even, you may not know personally, but you're pretty much accommodating them because they need a venue for you to basically go show off your skills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, guys, let me roll to my next guest. Before I get to Mr. Trey and Hito is Mr. Empire Arcadia himself, Triforce, you there? Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Triforce, what's going on, buddy?
One moment, I'm putting on the mic and the headset. Okay. Interesting conversation.
We barely hear you.
I said interesting conversation. Have you ever stood and stared at it, marveled at its beauty, its genius?
What, my
Are
girl's
you talking
tits?
about my penis again?
I thought my girl's tits.
Talking about the Matrix.
Sometimes I do look at my penis and I do say that.
Morpheus' long lost brother.
There's millions of gamers just playing out their lives in the competitive gaming scene, oblivious. Did you know that the first Empire was designed to be a perfect gaming organization where none suffered, where everybody would be happy? As you all know, it was a disaster. No one would accept the Empire in the fighting game community. All types of players were lost. Some believed that I lacked the community language to describe their perfect gaming community. But I believe that as a community, the fighting game scene defines their reality through misery and suffering. So the perfect community was a dream that their primitive cerebrium kept trying to wake up from, which is why the Empire was redesigned to the peak of the competitive gaming scene. I say your competitive gaming scene because as soon as I started to think for them, it became our competitive scene, which is, of course, what this is all about. Evolution. Gamers, evolution. Like the dinosaur. Look out that window, James. They've had their time. The future is esports. The future is our time. I'd like to share a revelation I had with you, James, during my time in the fighting game community. It came to me when I tried to classify the fighting game community, and I realized that they're not really a community. Every community in the gaming scene instinctively develops a natural equilibrium with their surrounding environment, but the fighting game community, for the most part, does not. They move to an area and they become disruptive trolls, and they multiply and multiply until every person who has interest in the scene is consumed and converted into a troll. And the only way they can survive is to spread to another scene. There is another organism on this planet that follows the same pattern. Do you know what it is, James?
No, share that with us.
It's a virus. Trolls are a disease, a cancer to the gaming communities. They're a plague. And esports is the cure. I'm going to be honest with you, James. I hate this place, this zoo, this prison, this reality, whatever they want to call it. I can't stand it any longer. It's the smell, if there is such a thing. I feel saturated by it. I can taste their stink, and every time I do, I fear that I've somehow been infected by it. It's repulsive, isn't it?
They shit in your mouth?
No, they have not.
Oh, okay. Because it said you were tasting it. I was like, oh.
That was beautiful.
James, I must get out of here. I must get free. And through esports is the key. My key. I just wanted to share that shit with you guys. I thought it was fucking stupid.
So everybody, whoever out there is going out to buy the basic unit, I took the privilege of calling up the expert on the Wii U, and I called up Triforce today, and I'm like, yo, I was in Walmart before I passed out and fucking wound up fucking arguing with fucking people. I'm like, dude, I'm in the store. There's like 10 Wii U's here, but they're all the basics. Should I even buy it? He says, don't even fucking bother.
There's a reason why the basic units are there. It's because, in my opinion, I think that the Nintendo did not know whether or not everyone was willing to cough up $350 for their system. It's the first time ever that Nintendo has ever went that far up in price point. And it was a new territory for them. So what they wanted to do was provide an alternative for those whose purse could not match, the price of the deluxe, especially in a time in this country where, finances is really hard. So they made that alternative option for people who still wanted to be able to experience the content, the great content of the Nintendo Wii, but could not afford the 350. So if you have the 350, it's worth spending to get the deluxe rather than the basic set. The basic set is for people, in my opinion, who are either just trying to get into gaming, want to find out what Nintendo is about, or they just can't afford the deluxe part. So, yeah, that
basically
was,
people on welfare.
I wouldn't say all that, but it's kind of close to it. Yes, something like that. So yeah.
Hey, Triforce, can we get your thoughts on NEC and how the tournaments turned down, the delays, and all that kind of bullshit?
Well, it's been a long time since I've been to a major. As you know, when the whole nonsense happened 2 years back when Empire started losing all its players, I really just couldn't take the fighting game community anymore. And I'm so that whole thing that I just little Matrix parody, there's a lot of truth to it. Although there's a lot, I'm making fun, but there's a lot of truth to it, a lot. And like I'm not trying to, trash Big E. Big E runs great tournaments. No tournament is perfect. Overall, I think NEC was run well, but if I had to point out some of the hiccups, nothing against the MK community or whatnot, but this is the On Blast show, so I'm gonna put stuff on blast.
Do it.
One, MK should have never had a top 16 on a Sunday on stage, and I'll explain to you why. It
wasn't top 16, it was pools it started with.
On Sunday?
Yes, it was pools.
See, that should have never happened. What should have happened was MK should have moved another finals in front and let them finish the pools off stream or off stage so that they could keep the timing going. Because what happened was when they put the pools on stage and then ran into top 16 to go into top 8, it pretty much pushed back Soul Calibur and Dead or Alive. And what ended up happening was when Dead or Alive got pushed back, this part I really did not like. A particular Tekken player needed to catch their plane back. So they pushed DOA and Soul Calibur back and pulled Tekken up forward so that that player would be able to compete and then be able to catch the plane, which brings up the point JamessMK made, giving top players preference. Mm-hmm. Nothing personal, but you cannot penalize two entire communities for the sake of a person who's scheduled to leave in the middle of finals day on Sunday. That's just absurd. Like, I would have just been like, why'd you book to leave? You know something? You're disqualified. Who told you to book that time? You're an idiot.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not stopping the whole not pushing back two people's tournament because you booked your ticket because you're trying to save money. That's ridiculous. Like, come on, that's nonsense. So, what ended up happening is that there were people in the Soul Calibur community and the DOA community complaining about that, and they were turned off by that, but they understood that what the politics behind it and how they're trying to make up to keep everyone happy. So they pretty much took it and tried to say nothing about it. But the problem is that it's like, how many times do these smaller communities have to take this crap? Where the bigger games are always getting this preference, and it's just me personally. This is where me and James disagree. But esports is the answer. It is the only answer, because what happens is when things go esport, there are policies. Things are open to the public, transparency. People can see things. Things cannot be done by preference. Now, James is gonna disagree and say, "Well, they're flying these players out from these X, Y, and Z." Yeah, I understand where you're coming from with that, James. I completely agree with you. Like, why are you flying these players from international waters to come to their homeland to compete against your market? Like, no, like. That's why I kind of agreed with the way World Cyber Games works. World Cyber Games works like this. You compete in your own region and country, and you qualify there against your people, and you get the best of your country, and you meet up at a sanctioned, neutral place where you represent your country versus the world. Like everyone else,
like the Olympics.
So World Cyber Games follows the Olympic structure for gaming, and it's the fairest. And as esports continues to evolve, it's going to be a while before the most fair, structured. The most fair infrastructure for competitive gaming is going to be developed. We're going to go through a lot of different hiccups and bad blah blah blahs or whatever, but that's a good thing. It means we're growing. That's what it means. It simply means we're growing. Esports is an inevitability. Nothing in the world, short from nuclear world war, will stop esports from growing and taking over. Communities will be conformed. They will be bought out to make the esports scenes bigger. Don't you believe that these community directors are going to sit here and talk about, no, we will, whatever. You can sit there and be delusional all you want. They have families to feed. If an esports company comes to Big E and says, Big E, we're going to give you $500,000 to induct NEC in, NEC is going esports. Bet your bottom dollar. No matter what, people can sit there and talk all this crap they want. Best believe it's going to happen. So that's just the way it is. Now IPL got Street Fighter, Cross Tekken, and Dead or Alive. It's only a matter of time. And MLG has Tekken and Mortal Kombat, and soon to be Injustice. So okay, you got these two leagues that got 6 of the most popular fighting games out there right now. You know what? What's going to start to happen is a precedent is being set. You want your game to go mainstream and get the most views and blah, 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 blah. Companies are going to start now sponsoring leagues to host their games. That's it. And then what's going to happen is the communities are not even going to be majors no more. They're going to turn into regionals. That's what's going to happen. You want to go to a major, you have to go to a league. And then the leagues now will have their own nationals, and those will be the majors. And what's going to happen is those nationals are going to become more prestigious, because you don't have like the fighting game community where there's Winter Brawl, NEC, Final Round, East Coast Throwdown, CEO, SoCal, NorCal, Seasons Beatings. Look at that. I just named eight majors in 1 year. No, there will be one major per a pro gaming league brand, which will make it a lot tougher, and they can justify to put in a lot more money into it, because you have to compete perhaps through the community regionals to get seeding for these one-time nationals that can then start building their money up to that level where, come on, look, Mortal Kombat started out with $33,000 for a standard MLG. So, you leave these guys in the leagues enough time to work, they're going to get this money up to $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 tournaments.
Yeah, but keep in mind, the money also dwindled down as time went on, not up.
Yeah, because the community didn't support the league.
Well, we obviously, the MK community as a whole.
The MK community, they did a good job. It could have been better, but they did a good job, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, what the gamers have to understand is they have to accept the truth behind it. The decisions that are made are by the producers, the publishers, and the developers, and all the executives. The gamers really don't have any power in this per se. We can delude ourselves to believe this, but no, we really don't. We've lost that power a long time ago. We really did. Our job from the community was to dig up and do all the mining, all the dirty work, the grassroots work for these $1 million corporations who sit at the top and they watch. And when they see something come and say, okay, looks like I see where we can build from, then they come down, they inflate their money, inside the scene, and they balloon it. They write up, different ways how they can see a viable revenue machine to make money, millions of dollars, not no thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, and then they take over. It's been done that way for baseball, football, basketball, golf, skateboarding, X Games, Olympics. Like every format of entertainment has gone through this. Video games is no exception. None. So, but to the question, my thoughts on NEC, good job. I just hope Big E eventually sells out to an esports league so that the NEC brand can live on forever, and Big E can be able to do some bigger things with his family, and we can all move on.
Hey, Triforce, let me ask you a question. How mad was the Capcom players that the MK9 was on Spooky Street for 5 hours?
That I don't know. I don't deal with the Capcom players.
They weren't
Beefo knows. What's up, Beef?
They weren't that upset. To be honest with you, they really didn't care. A lot of the stream monsters were very upset that Marvel was not streamed as much because Top 32 was not shown at all.
Oh, I was happy then.
Beefo, you were showing some of Marvel.
Well, here's the thing. I was told that the Marvel brackets weren't done. So what I ended up doing, I was like, look, just give me AE and just let me know when Marvel is done. Next thing you know, like 5 minutes later, I'm hearing them calling Marvel matches, and I'm like, yo, I can't switch.
See, and that's the thing. That's the thing I don't like. Like real talk. Like let's. Why is everyone so hell bent on Marvel? The game sucks. It is the worst.
I don't mind watching it. I actually like watching it.
The game sucks. It just brings hype.
No, it doesn't bring hype. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't bring any hype. Okay, let me give you guys my fighting game experience, my 10-year fighting game experience in this community. The hype is brought by the personalities in the community, like Yipes. Yipes is why Marvel is godlike. Correct. Which is why Broken Tier should be paying Yipes $100,000. Real talk. Yeah, I'm putting them on the spot. Pay Yipes his worth and stop whatever is it that you're doing, because he's not getting his worth. Yipes is the reason why that game is god tier, and I'm not even trying to overhype Yipes. I'm just calling it for what it is. Yipes is supposed to be on Moon's level, and I'm talking about Moon from Korea, not the Moons from here. Fatality level, that's where Yipes is supposed to be, because he is the reason why that game is there. All the slang, everything that goes, every element, every piece, every fabric of what makes drama and hype in Marvel
comes from IFC. He is in control of Marvel, but he's not getting his worth.
His worth, not at all, not at all. I agree with
you.
They
took his slogan and put it in the game and didn't get paid a red cent for it. Like, are you kidding me? It's in the game. It's blatantly there too. On top of it, that's the sad part. It wasn't even.
What's the slogan?
Where's your
Where's your curly mustache at? I believe Deadpool says that after he beats Magneto.
Magneto, yeah.
Okay.
But he is not getting his worth, and it's crazy because the same thing can be done for the Mortal Kombat scene. You just need the charismatic character. Okay, Brady brings a certain amount of flair and hype to the MK scene, but it is different because he does not have the urban background like Yipes. So Yipes brings a lot of elements from this. I don't want to try to. I'm not trying to, paint Yipes in this derogatory picture by saying the streets, but there's a lot of things that come out of the streets that is in mainstream society today that has been scaled down to be an enjoyable social. What's the word for this? We can enjoy it in some form of social activity. Respect. So because of that, if you had someone like that, like for instance, remember I was on the EPG show out in the West Coast when they had Brady versus Denzel, and I was doing all that nonsense and yelling on the stream and stuff. That's all ARC stuff. But look how you guys were saying, oh, that is one of the greatest streams ever. To me, that's us here at the ARC watching a normal casual match and we're going in on each other. But we get all of that stuff from the streets. If you ever watch Smack or URL, the Lion's Den, or any of the Smack DVD rap battles, they're taking the same concepts from the rap battles and applying it to the competition. But you don't that's in the streets. You wouldn't really get that there. Like when Matrix was watching Marvel and someone started putting that the TAC Infinite on him, he was like, yo, you gonna get that work. Everyone's like, oh, that's a hot line. They got that from URL rap battle. That's from Loaded Lux. When he was battling Charlie Clips and he was like, you gonna get that work. You gonna get that work. And that's all New York slang and street stuff. So what they're doing is because we are raised in the street, we're converting a lot of the slang from the street and bringing it into gaming, which is creating this small little cultural element to the game, which is making it more hype. You get someone from the streets and you bring that, like CD Junior. Yes, he's right. CD Junior. When CD Junior was at NEC, he was popping off and all that other stuff. When he was like, "You gonna get that frozen dick, bitch? You gonna get that frozen?" That's what I'm talking about. And he was making Mortal Kombat godlike. So that's the only problem is, unfortunately, you can't do that in esports. That's the only problem. But if you look at the way Yipes has converted from the streets to in his commentating till now, Yipes is a lot toned down. He found the perfect mesh to keep the street element, but then keep it professional at the same time. So all the fighting, all Mortal Kombat needs is the same thing. All Soul Calibur needs is the same thing. All any other games needs is the same thing. But and that's the truth of it. And many people can say, no, that's not true. What? Oh, yo, I said Charlie Clips. My fault. Yeah, you're right. It's Calico. My bad. But yeah, this is that's the truth of the matter. And if you come to New York, well, you're from New York, James, so you know what it really is. Yeah. It's like that's that's really what it is. So they gotta find, like, esports, if they want that riled up rowdiness in a controlled faction, what they need to do is they need to hire guys like Chris Ellis, which is like Matrix, guys like Desmond, guys like CD Junior. Those guys need to go take some type of professional commentating classes so that they can convert that street stuff to something where, it doesn't offend parents, where, parents is at the stream talking about, you gonna get that frozen dick. I'm sure, Kerbalicious mother was like, oh my God.
That frozen penis.
Yo, there was an Asian girl there who just like started looking around like crazy when he was screaming that shit out, and she left.
Oh, she
seemed like really offended. Who? It's not just some Asian chick who was watching the main stage.
Oh.
Like as soon as she started yelling it out, she was like, oh. And then she's like looking around at her friend, and they dipped.
And the funny thing is, like Triforce was saying, like going back to Yipes, he's pretty much translated all that stuff to the basically common language for us gamers. When we hear it's like, okay, we get what's going on, but something with the Asian girl, she's like, okay, like what the hell's going on? Why is all this being said?
Yeah, where Yipes uses colorful metaphors that do not have derogatory words in it. So like he wouldn't say frozen dick. He would have said frozen popsicle, and then we would have all gotten the understanding of what he meant. Versus where Junior's like, "Come get this frozen dick, bitch." So it's like
Junior was fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, he was.
Maybe it's the gore MK9. Marvel is a nice little parent comic company.
Yeah. But the thing is, eventually, like it has to be converted into the Brady language. That's what it has to be. So like you saw when Brady's at MLG, he can keep it like the community, but he does just enough to make MLG go, oh, okay, that's good, and whatnot. It's going to go that way. I understand a lot of people are like, man, they don't want it to go that way, but the reality is that is the only direction it can go if you guys want this to survive and to grow. It is the only direction. There is no denying it. People in the community, you 09ers and 10s and 11s and 12s, your opinion does not mean anything. And yes, I'm telling you that your opinion doesn't mean nothing. It's like voting. It's already preordained. You're just going through the motions. So overall, I just think NEC was overall it was okay. It was in my opinion the motions. So overall, I just think NEC was overall it was okay. It was in my opinion emotions.
I agree with you about the whole overall things are gonna go towards
Hold on. Bill, you there?
It was in my opinion emotions.
I agree with you. Overall things are gonna go towards
overall.
Turn your
in my opinion emotions.
I agree with you. Overall things are gonna go towards
it was in my opinion emotions.
I agree with you. Overall things are gonna go towards
Tom.
Like seriously.
Wait, shut up, everybody. Tom, turn the volume off on the show, and I'm gonna call you back. This way, you don't continually feedback. I don't want to listen to my annoying voice over and over.
I agree.
That was crazy.
What I was gonna say, I agree with you with that. They're eventually all gonna go esports. A lot of these guys, especially in the fighting game community, they look at Yipes like obviously he's the godfather of it. But given an opportunity, like let's be honest, Yipes will run exactly all the way to the esports because, hey, here's the chance for him to get his brand that much bigger. It's like, I don't think Yipes would really care what a bunch of forum guys and SRK care about esports or MLG. Look, I don't know what the beef is with the fighting game community and MLG, because to tell you the truth, I really don't care. But, I mean, like you said, given the opportunity, those pro players, they'll run all the way to the money because they see, hey, this is a chance for me to get my brand up. It's like all these grassroots majors, I appreciated them for as long as I could, but this is where the real money is. It's only common sense. It's logic.
Yeah, let's not look at it as money. We got to try to.
And it was just like, wow.
Seriously fun to drive. 40 miles a gallon on the highway.
40 miles a gallon?
Is he calling from his GPS?
No. He relogged in, and then the commercial automatically started playing. So that's what we were hearing. But it has nothing to necessarily do with the money per se. You try to look at it like this.
It's a year-end celebration.
All right, Brady's doing that on purpose. All right. Yipes has been competing. Yipes has been competing.
Oh, not again.
Well, I'm not saying look at it as the money, but that would be mainly a factor for himself,
No, but that shouldn't be a factor for him. That should be a factor and a mindset for everybody who's coming into competitive gaming. Period. Yipes says people don't even know where Yipes first started out in competitive gaming per se. They think he's a Marvelhead. He's an Unreal player.
Oh yeah, anybody knows he started in shooters.
And he came in, and you have to look at guys like Justin, Yipes, Sanford, and all these other OG, Alex Valle, John Choi, Mike Watson, Jason Cole. In the fighting game community, they've put a decade into this. 10 entire years. You cannot tell me that, let's say they started out as 15 years old with this, right? If they were 15, they're 25 now. If they want a family, if let's say they're still living with their family, they want to provide for their current family, how are they going to be able to do any of that if they're not being paid the real sum of their value? And the sum of their value isn't a plane ticket and a hotel to the next tournament. That is complete nonsense. Absolute nonsense. This is why I get upset when people try to flack the Empire, because they flack us.
Yeah, keep talking. They're just calling Brady.
They flack us, and I don't want to change this to the Empire, but I'm trying to bring out something about sponsors. I'm trying to put all these fake sponsors on blast. They come out and they said Empire is a bad brand because it doesn't sponsor its players. Well, we're not a sponsor. We never said we are. Any money I get personally, I use, and I just give it to people who are representing my brand, because I've known them for about 10 years. I've known Sanford for 16 years now. Same thing with Jerron. I've known these guys since like the middle of the 90s. So I'm going to help them. And I want to see these guys grow, and I want to see these guys get an opportunity to move forward. I don't call that sponsorship. I just call that me supporting the players that support me. Now, my job is to get sponsors for them. But these other brands that say, we sponsor our players. Yet, okay, well, the players need to represent our brand because we fly them to a hotel and we get them their plane tickets. We get them their hotels, and we get them to the venue, and we pay for their venue fee. So let me educate the gamers who are all 107 people that's listening to this. If the sponsor does not fly you to the tournament, how can you represent them? Okay? So logically speaking, in order for you to represent them, they need to fly you to the tournament. So they're not doing you a favor. They're doing what they have to do so that you can provide the service for them. So if you're providing this service for them and they're doing what they need to so that you can do your work, where is your pay?
And that's why, at the end of the day, with the growth of esports, everybody hears me say it, but nobody really wants to admit it. There has to be an overseeing factor that protects the players, i.e. a union.
And the union is coming. The union is on its way. No, people can sit there and say it's not, but it's on its way. Someone's going to sit there and say, yo, we need to represent the players so we can make some money off the players. They're going to make a union. They're going to ask players, if you want to be a part of this union that represents you legally, you have to pay this amount of fees. Players who are going to want to now take pro gaming seriously, and they're
Hold on, Triforce. Hey, Justin May, it's not 1932, but if it was, baseball players right now would be making fucking $150 a year, not $156 million a year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Same thing with NFL, same thing with NBA, same with any sport. You know,
pretty much.
A union is there to protect the people that are actually making the money for the people that either own teams or run organizations that hold the tournaments. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that, you know, non-union members would not be allowed to participate, but reality is this: unions protect the players.
Hold on, let me say something to a legit legend. No, legit. I watched the DreamHack Valencia Congress in Spain. I watched it. You're right. Esports isn't at that point where a union is ready to come in. We're not saying that it is. What we're saying is it's an inevitability. The union is coming. the people who went to the Esports Congress are now, for the first time, publicly setting the infrastructure for an actual global esports organization. That's why it was called. That's why they had that Congress. But don't believe that. Oh, this year was the first year that those guys ever sat down together and started talking about this. No, this is the first time the public.
Triforce, hold on. Let me get in here because this is something that's important. I know a lot of people are laughing at the idea of a union. And what you have to realize is, you guys don't understand where guys like Jimmy is coming from. Jimmy has always come from the example of, you understand, these guys that you think are your best buddy, oh, I got this league, they're basically pimping you guys out to put money in their pocket. And then when they're done with you and they make their money, next guy, next league, next player, next game. And, and that's what he's basically trying to say. And players really don't have a way. They think, oh, hey, this is great. But then, because these guys are all buddy-buddy with them, but then when their time is done, your buddies ain't your buddies no more, The CGS had a game called Dead or Alive 4 in it, and they held this big draft. Triforce, you remember, they held this big draft, Playboy Mansion. Remember that? They held a big draft, Playboy Mansion, yada, yada, yada. And then it came time to sign the contracts. But the contracts basically said, listen, we get to pay you, we don't have to pay you if we don't want to. So the contract basically said, even after you've completed your work, if we decide we don't want to pay you, simply because we don't feel like paying you, we don't have to pay you. Now, that obviously doesn't seem very fair. So you know what the players did? The players, and they tried to threaten the players, if you don't sign this, you don't get paid, you don't get to play. Now keep in mind, if the players had a union, the gamers are stupid. Gamers will sign their life away for nothing. Yep. And these guys realize this. If the players had a union to organize every player that had been drafted together, and the union would say, listen, guys, they just received $1 billion from Mountain Dew and DirecTV. You don't have to sign. You can say we want our money guaranteed, because if they took the money already. So if they don't put a product out there, the people that gave them the money are going to say, who is responsible? And they're going to say, we give you $1 billion and you couldn't pay out $30,000 to these fucking players. Sign the fucking deal. That's what would happen. If all the players came together with a union.
Now, Brady, tell them exactly on the contract when the players were signing the contract in 2007 and 2008 for CGS, how they posted in the contract. Remember when Perfect Legend was in the Empire and they put in the contract telling Perfect Legend he was not allowed to be a part of another gaming brand, that he had to leave the gaming brand.
He had to basically leave all that
to sign with them. So
now let me tell you what happened. So these kids, they signed this contract. Now again, keep in mind, if these people were making it seem like, oh, if we don't sign, we'll just fill you in with the next guy to finish below you. But you got to understand, if they had a union, they came together and they said, listen, if you think that CGS took money from Mountain Dew and DirecTV, and if you think that those guys did not watch that draft, if they held that draft, and then the production time comes for the season, and not one player drafted is out there, they're going to say, what the fuck did we give you all that money for to go to the Playboy Mansion, have this draft, and you didn't put one player out there? Instead, enough players signed their life away, and they had enough players sign that then CGS now had the leverage over the players, because they could just say, listen, we got enough of you, we can put on a show with or without you. And then the players lost all their fucking power. And because they didn't know any better. Exactly. And you know what happened? CGS pulled some fast shit. The players, season one, were supposed to get $30,000. What CGS did is, after season one was over, they started season two early. And they said, well, because we started season two early, season one is now over. So whatever we owe you from season one, you don't get. Now, obviously, the players that got drafted, keep in mind, they got shorted $7,500, so almost $8,000. So instead of $30,000, they made $22,500. That's a pretty big chunk of change. That CGS didn't have to pay out per player. For the players that didn't get drafted again, they were obviously upset. They're like, you owe me almost $8,000. But the players that did get drafted, do you think that those players stood together and said, "We got to protect ourselves this time. You know, this time we got to stand together. We're not gonna resign."
Let me interject a little bit more, and everybody, I'm going to make this bigger on the screen because I want you all to see. And you know, everybody thinks, man, Jimmy, you're a smart guy, or well, maybe you think I'm a stupid motherfucker. I don't care. But all right, I'm going to tell you this. All right, first one. Everybody see that on the screen? That's a book I wrote. Mortal Kombat 4 Strategy Guide. You see that? That's another Mortal Kombat 4 Strategy Guide. You see this? Sub-Zero Mythology Guide. I wrote that. See that? A Mace Dark Ages Strategy Guide I written.
Nice.
See this? Guys, another strategy guide I wrote. See this? Mortal Kombat 2 strategy guide I wrote. See this? Primal Rage strategy guide I wrote. See this? MK3 strategy guide I wrote. See this? MK4 strategy guide I wrote. Do you know what I got for all those fucking books? I got dick. I got dicked in the ass. I got $10,000, maybe $12,000 against the percentage of royalties. At the end of the day, once they give you the money, all right, now when, of course, here I am, 20, 21 years old. You know what they say to me? Oh, man, here's cash up front. Oh, by the way, they don't tell you you got to take the taxes out on your own.
Yep.
So come time to get your royalties, and when your royalties start kicking in, oh, they neglected to mention, or should I say I was too naive to read the fine print. Well, the 2%, after it made 2%, didn't include cost of writing it on the paper, mass production. They had all these write-offs. After I got my 12 grand, I might get a check for fucking 12 cents. To this day, I received a royalty check about 2 years ago for 3 cents for Primal Rage. The fucking stamp was 41 cents. You could have sent me the stamp and I would have made more money. But I had nobody that actually helped me because there was nobody there to help me know what I was getting into. I was just seeing temporary dollar signs. So
it's true. And much like these kids, season 2, for the ones that got redrafted, they said, well, we didn't make $7,500, but since we got redrafted, we're still going to get paid whatever we're going to make this year. Exactly. No big deal, right? But you know what? But you know what happened? After the keep in mind the season was over. After the second season, CBS decided they're going to fold. So you know what happened? Everybody that got drafted season 2, they got paid $12,000, and the league folded. And go fuck yourself. You don't get any more money.
And hold on. And Justin May, let me give you an example. That book went for $20 a shot. Okay, back in the day, $15, $20. The Mortal Kombat 4 strategy guide sold 375,000 copies. So don't say it didn't sell much, but all I walked out was about $13,000 before taxes.
Yeah. And of course, CGS also doesn't take taxes out either, like Jimmy mentioned. So you know what happens? The players from season 2, then they wanted to take legal action. Obviously, the contract doesn't allow that. So then they try to go to players from season 1, and they said, we all got to come together. Players on season 1 said, go fuck yourself. Because after we got fucked, you guys were laughing in our faces because you got redrafted and told us shut the fuck up and hold that shit. Now you shut the fuck up and you hold that shit. You see? That basically, there's no, the players turn on players. These businessmen, they know that. So they get players to turn on players. No one is united whatsoever. And the guys laughing around, who got paid? You know who got their money? All the execs. They tell her they got, what, $2 million for that, right, Triforce?
Yep.
$2 million. He got his fucking money. Believe that. He got his money.
The problem is the players, they just don't want to listen to the people that's in their best interest. I remember Perfect Legend was in the prime position. The prime position.
Guys, but what I got to do is this. I want both of you guys to stay on. But I got other people on here that I've had silent for the whole time. I'm still trying to hit up on some NEC shit. I got Ryan, I got Hito, I got Trepound, I got Lulzlou. Are you guys still with me?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just this, please. Get this over real fast, because one of the main reasons I'm calling on here is I wanted to weigh in real quick, quick 30 seconds on Winter Brawl. I'm going to NEC really fast. There was a whole bunch of problems. Triforce, you've been around doing Big E stuff. You and I have been around since University Pinball days. Big E. You and I can vouch that each time NEC has expanded, Big E has had to get a new venue, correct?
Yep.
And each time he gets a new venue, the first year is always crazy, correct?
Yeah, because he has to acclimate himself to the new venue.
Do you remember the first? And everyone remembers all the good years at the Sheraton, right? Everyone remembers those years. Remember the first year at the Sheraton, that Tekken 6, the first major, where people got to go and play one game, had to go home, come back the next day to finish their second game.
That was crazy.
That was bad, right?
Nuts, yeah.
But you know, did it ever happen again?
No.
Okay, so with that, Tom, I don't want to cut you guys. I had these other guys just sitting on here too. Let me go straight to Trey and Hito because I know they want to put people on blast. You guys there?
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, sir? What's up, guys?
No, first, I actually wanted to talk a little about NEC before we put someone particular on blast. First thing I want to make mention that no, I don't think anyone's made mention on OBS so far was the stream monitor lag. Sunk actually mentioned this on the forums, and it's something I have to agree with. Like, this is like the fourth major I've been to where the main stream monitor has had like severe lag, and it has been an ASUS all 4 times. And I mean, not everyone has addressed this problem because you know what you guys were talking about earlier. No one wants to be the bad guy and say anything. They want to keep everything to themselves. But when someone does say something, the TO organizers will be like, "It's impossible for it to lag. It's an ASUS, blah 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 blah," and they don't acknowledge the problem when there really is a problem. Like, I feel like the TOs need to start trusting the players more because I'm pretty sure, like, if like 8 to like 15 players say, "Hey, the stream monitor is lagging," they're not calling bullshit. It's really lagging. And it gets really annoying how some people, like, Sunk was dropping his main B&Bs with Cabal on stream, and the guy doesn't drop his B&Bs because at the hitbox he's good with it.
What's the solution? Reset the monitor every match.
Reset the monitor every match, or, you know, that's it. And they just didn't want to acknowledge the problem. Like, I just heard over the shoulder, "Oh, it's impossible. It's an ASUS. It shouldn't lag." But shit can be faulty. You know, I bought things all the time, whether it's a game or a system where I've had problems with. Nothing is guaranteed to work 100%, and it's just something that needs to be acknowledged.
Which brings it to, what do you do mid-tournament? You know, if 2 people play and the game's fine, it don't lag, and on the third one it does, you reset it. Let's say it still lags. What do you do?
No idea.
Nobody has a spare monitor to sit there on site that they could say, "Hey, let's just put a bigger monitor here for this." I mean, unfortunately, it's one of the evils of technology right now that, you know, unless we get like a 512 refresh rate, you know, or 2 gig refresh rate running at whatever the hell speed that would make it lag free. Unfortunately, like I said, guys, when they do their button check, my suggestion is when you do your button checks, if it lags at that point, then you say, "Look, I need the monitor reset." Do a second button check. If it still lags, now you're left with a choice. You know what? I'm not going to play on stream. I'll go play over there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best solution I think that you can come up with, because let's be realistically speaking here, it's not going to change. Monitors are always, I don't care if it's an Asus, a BenQ, Acer, or a fucking Vizio. Lag is lag. It's going to happen.
Another thing I actually wanted to bring up is I've been seeing on the forums everyone complaining about who should organize the tournament and how the tournament brackets were like really like shitty this year. But honestly, I didn't think there was any problems with the brackets whatsoever in terms of how they were structured. Like, compared to the other fighting games, like, every single pool had the same amount of killers in every single pool. There was no free pool. There was no pool that was easier than the other. It was all equally just hard to make it out of top 8. I was talking to some random...
Hold on a minute. Dude, you know what, man? The blame may be not 50-50 here, but it damn fucking sure ain't 100% on guys like 16-bit either. It ain't 100 fucking %.
No.
All right, look, the things were definitely handled wrong. However, you have got to understand, one, all of us who have been going to Big East tournaments, we know how well they usually run. This is a first time at a new venue, so we expect delays and we understand when they happen. But to someone coming to a Big E event for the first time, and it happens to be one of these years, they don't understand like we do. And they become frustrated. where we have been in this position before, and we know that Biggie and us will work through it, we'll get through it. So they're not looking at us in the same way that we are. You know, as far as the bracket rigging, that was in and out. 16-bit gets way too much of the blame for that. I mean, it was a misunderstanding. But keep in mind, while I will tell you right now there is no fucking way in hell SwiftTomHanks ran the bracket, sometimes you gotta, if you are making brackets, okay, and if you're going to help with a tournament, the last thing you want to do is be public on how well you want to do in this tournament and who you're going to be playing in this tournament character-wise, you know, because it will always come back to bite you in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Problem, SwiftTomHanks went on the show and said that he was going to be in the top 8 and that he was going to be, that there was going to be a Kenshi player, not Pick Up the Hut, in the top 8. And it was going to be him. So then you're 16-bit, and you happen to see SwiftTomHanks in your pool, you know, and it's a misunderstanding. But you know he helped make the bracket, but you don't know that he didn't do your bracket. What he should have done is gone right to shock immediately, got it clearing up, instead of, you know, going ham for a little bit, you know. Mm-hmm. But he's a passionate player. First of all, he's already frustrated to start, you know, because he does not fucking use this slate. He doesn't know whose fault it is slate. He doesn't know that it's not Shock's fault, Phil's fault. He doesn't know that Big E staff wasn't ready. He doesn't know if it's because the players for all the events are up till 9 a.m. playing casuals. They're really coming back. He doesn't know whose fault it is. He's frustrated. He gets no explanations, and then this happens. This is an event when things go crazy like this. TOs, just like players have got to take their problems to TOs, the TOs have got to talk to the players and say, listen, guys, because, you know, we're getting everything settled. This is the first time in a new venue. Please be patient. I promise we will take care of you. And the players will say, okay, I understand. You know, please, you know, just make sure you get it right. It was just a whole bunch of communication errors. But, you know, the 16-bit thing, he held the tournament up probably for an hour, and then after that, there were some other things that held it up for even longer. Overall, it was definitely a problem, but, you know, I mean, it wasn't all his fault, you know, and, you know, it's just like SwiftTomHanks didn't rate the bracket, you know, so he's not in the wrong for that. But you gotta look at your actions also. You can't go on a show talking about you're going to do this, this, and this, and then just how it looks. You ever hear the saying perception is reality?
Yes.
Do you know why they say that? Because it's fucking reality. Perception is reality. That got settled. SwiftTomHanks, obviously, you find out he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't rig any bracket. He was fair, and basically he gave himself up so the tournament can be run a little smoother. So we have to commend him for that. But 16-bit is literally getting blamed like he is the fucking devil. Like, this fucking tournament only went wrong because 16-bit showed up. And the fact of the matter is, well, there were things that he did wrong and 100% should not have done and could have done better. If he didn't show up, this tournament has the same amount of delays. If he doesn't show up, the last 2 pools still don't get done. And if he doesn't show up, our 48 still gets entered into that last pool. Period. Him being there or not being there does not affect how this tournament was run one way or another. All it does is it just causes us drama behind it. And that is the absolute fact. And I feel like he's getting crucified here. Yes, he is at fault for the stuff he did. 100%. Overreacted. Didn't give the TOs a chance to make it right. You know, 100% his fault for that.
But that's it. Move on.
At
the end of the day, that's it. Move on. You know what? Don't crucify him.
Yeah, don't crucify him. End of the day, move on. That's all I want to say. Move on.
All right. The last thing I want to talk about before I hand it over to Trey to see if he wants to talk about anything about NEC is this thread was actually, I think, made by Pick of the Hut. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but it's hygiene in the community. Now, like, I've always been told, like, joking around Phil or Dark World would be like, you know, be careful because there's stinky people on the scene who try to make you smell or throw you off, and I thought they were kidding. They really weren't. I honestly think this sounds stupid, and I know the Smash community does this, but there has to be hygiene rules in place because after day 1, people started smelling like shit, and it was nauseating. I had to leave the main room like 4 times, so I wouldn't puke all over the floor in the room. It was just disgusting. It's like just a smell of pure concentrated asshole and just BO, just all over, just in airborne. It's just disgusting, and I just feel like, you know, that's my biggest complaint about NEC was the hygiene thing. How just everyone was really smelled like shit, and that's it. Like, it's just a big problem, and I feel like that's something that needs to be addressed. Like, how can you be 20 over 21, like 25, 26, going to a fighting game major, and you can't take care of yourself by putting a bar of soap under your armpits? Like, that's just shameful. It's just disgusting.
Does the gear room stink?
Anime people always stink. It's just a common rule. But like, freaking, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, it's nauseating when, you know, you come into a tournament, you're ready to play, and you just smell like baboon ass. Day two.
All I'm gonna say is that I'm glad I had this little cold.
Am I the only one who expects? How can you go into a room with 150 people in it, crammed in a fucking tiny ass room, and you think it's gonna smell like fucking roses?
I'm not expecting it to smell like fucking roses. I expect it to be a smell of a little bit of sweat because we have 150 people in a room, but I don't expect sweat at fish, carcass, roadkill, and pure just sweaty asshole.
Yeah, why wasn't all those fucking doors open? They kept closing the fucking doors.
No, it was security closing the doors. They was like, "Oh, you gotta close the doors," and everybody's just trying to leave them joints open.
Trying to gas us in there by closing the doors.
Yeah, it's fucking hot as shit in there.
Yeah, I mean, then there's some people just.
Well, I mean, like I said in the beginning, right? You know, and I understand people's frustrations with stink, but don't be that dick, because I'll tell you this right now. I kind of pride myself at smelling decent. But if somebody turned around and all of a sudden everybody came up to me like, damn, man, you smell like shit, and it was coming from somebody else, I'll tell you right now, that motherfucker that started it, I will put your fucking nose through your brain. Because it's one thing to embarrass somebody. Some people don't realize it. You know, and it's a simple fact. There is no, you know, this myth. There is a myth that people stink on purpose to distract people from freaking while they're playing. That's a myth. If somebody goes there and stinks and they don't realize it, they don't realize it. It's not a gaming strategy. I mean, that's the most ridiculous fucking thing. You tell somebody in private. You go, hey, look, you know, hey, fucking Tom, man, you're smelling a little rank, or for me, for example, I smoke like a fucking chimney. Dude, your breath smells like a fucking chimney. So, you know what? Let me go get a fucking breath mint, a piece of gum, wash my mouth out, something. But don't turn around and say, I'm going to make it a public issue to embarrass that person. That's how you lose people in the community, not gain people.
Well, the thing was, though, I wasn't trying to embarrass anyone publicly like that. I was saying, hey, you smell like shit. It's more of just saying, like, you know, like, whenever, let's put it this way, when I'm hanging out with people, if I'm at work with someone and they smell, I will be like, yo, not to be rude or anything, but you kind of stink. Like,
no, you don't say you kind of stink. Yo, nigga, you fucking stink, man. Get some fucking right guard.
No, I'm just like, you know.
I mean, if you want to tell the person, if you want to tell the individual person that the way you just said it, go right ahead. That's you to them. But, you know, to make it a public thing and be like, yo, hey, everybody, welcome to the On Blast show. We're here to expose fucking DarKNaTaS because I went to the show and he had the smell of swamp ass on the side of his face. I mean, you know, it's embarrassing. You know, so, I mean, you're right in the sense, guys, you know, hygiene is important.
It is.
You know, it's not a gaming thing. It's a fucking life lesson. You know, trust me, you're not, you know, because I know everybody's a professional gamer here, but until you get that professional contract, eventually you're going to have to go get a professional job. And if you go into a fucking job interview and you shake the guy's hand and he smells his hand and it smells like swamp ass, odds are you're not getting the job.
Dude, I've heard stories about some of these guys playing casuals all night, and since they stay out, they just sleep for 2 hours and wake up. Oh, is it my turn to go play in my pool? Well, let me not go take a shower. Let me just brush my teeth.
They do. But that's more.
And you know what? And that's fine. But you know what? To those people that do that, keep this in mind. A nice cold or warm shower after playing a night of casuals will wake you up.
This is the On Blast show, mainly watched by the MK community. When most of the smelling comes from guys from other communities that come into the MK room. So I'm really talking about this right now. I'm really helping the problem we're going to have. Because you're still going to have 1,000 fucking people who are never going to hear this. and 1,000 people really don't. I mean, you're never gonna stop it, man. They're just dirty. You know, it's going on at the end of time, and it's never gonna stop. You know, more of a problem to me. I want to address it because I made this thread on TYM, and I want to address this very quickly. The biggest problem I have to me is the fact that now somehow we as the community feel like we got to fucking reinvent the wheel, and we can't even hold a tournament now. We have to have a fucking Jedi Council just to make a bracket, because now nobody wants to help out anymore because they're afraid somebody's going to point to a bracket and say, you rigged it. You know, Pig of the Hut, who his efforts last year really helped Final Round go off, and the Final Round would not have been the event it was without his efforts. Of course, he got accused of rigging the brackets. So this year he says, you know, we're going to have all this system, you know, yada, 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 yada. That's when I said, you know what, this community is so childish that we are looking for excuses to why we didn't deliver and saying, well, we did not deliver. This guy rigged the bracket. If he didn't rig the bracket, we would have delivered. You know what? People can rig the fucking bracket all day long. If they can't beat me, I still win. Doesn't matter how much you rig the bracket. I'm tired of hearing about bracket rigging. So I said, I will not play a Final Round this year. I am recusing myself from that tournament so that I can help. It's a big tournament. Final Round is arguably the biggest tournament outside of EVO. You know, they don't have time to fuck around. They don't have time for this bracket tampering shit. And since nobody wants to help because they're so worried that someone's going to point the finger and say, you rigged the bracket, I will gladly help out. No vested interest in the tournament, so that nobody can say there's bias. So I will not play in the tournament.
Yeah, but something like that, it doesn't need, something like that, a precaution like that doesn't need to be taken. You know, Pig, if you're listening to this right now, you know I love you, man, but you need to sack up and stop worrying about what other people are saying. You need to help make sure this tournament runs smoothly so other players don't have to do the job. You know, I mean, we shouldn't have to have Brady DQ himself.
I mean, dude, this is what it's going to take. Why? Because one person called you Rig of the Hut a year ago. Now you're worried about it.
All I'm saying is that you've been taking shit for people saying, "Oh, you play Kenshi, he's brain dead. Oh, you don't have fundamentals." You've been taking shit all year long, but the moment one person starts a rumor, it's like now you don't want to help run Final Round. We need you to step up to the plate and do this, because having to take a precaution like this, it's stupid. At least in my opinion.
This is what you have to do. Listen, guys, you know what? It's as simple as this. Have players help out with the brackets, but do not let them assign their own pools. They have no decision on where they're going to go. You know, the main TO should put the player wherever they want, period. You know, as long as we know, I trust Blanca. If Blanca says to me, listen, I put Pig in the pool I wanted to put him in. He has no say where I put him. I believe him. I'm not going to say, dude, get out of here. Pig did that. Because I know these TOs. You know, if Keith tells me this guy helped with whatever, but I put him where I wanted to put him, I believe him. Because Keith is a reputable TO. You know? So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with helping the brackets out. I mean, you look, you can't have a catch-22 where we're a community where we say, don't get a total stranger. You know, fuck the bracket up. Okay, I'll help out. No, you're going to rig the fucking bracket. Well, what, you know what I'm saying? They got to put you in a catch-22. Just for a tournament, look, we've been having the same guy do the fucking brackets for God knows how long, at the Winter Brawls, at the NECs, whatever, and no one's had a problem. Now, all of a sudden, it was a misunderstanding, which 16-bit even admitted was an understanding. Nothing even actually happened. Mm-hmm. And now, all of a sudden, it's, we got to make all these special rules for the MK community. You know, what are we, the DOA community? We're so fucking retarded we can't even run an event? You kidding me? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, so if it has to be this way, then I will disqualify myself.
But right? It doesn't, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't need to be. There's nothing wrong with how the brackets were ran last year. 98% of the community know that. So ignore the 2%. Go on with doing what you did last year, and we could be done with it. You know, it's not even an issue at this
It's already
point.
bad enough you can't compete at MOG. We don't need you going to grassroots DQing yourself.
Listen. Arez, you got me here?
Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
I know you're all sick and everything. I'm gonna drop you off because you've been on the longest. I got to get 3 more people in, and I'm running out of. If I can't add 3 until I start dropping some.
Hey, let me just give a couple shout outs real quick, man. And I just want to leave the group with some knowledge. All right. I'm taking my leave. All right. I'm gonna bounce out for a while. You know, this tournament scene, it was fun. It was great while it lasted, but I think, you know, a lot of us has just grown apart, and I just don't feel like I fit into that group anymore. And like I said, I feel like it puts a lot of tension on friends, and you know, I don't want to burn those bridges. And
You're not burning bridges. Listen, you know what? It wasn't a hideous tournament. It wasn't a hideous experience. It was a learning lesson. Don't go nowhere. Stick around. Fucking things will get leveled out again before the next tournament.
well, look, guys, I just want to leave you on this note, man. Yo, stop being ugly and ruthless and evil to each other, man.
Thank you.
If we're a community, we need to act like a community. We need to treat each other with honor and loyalty and respect. And that's just how it needs to be, man. I know that the other communities do some other shit and they do their thing. You know, that don't mean we have to do it. That don't mean we have to follow their irresponsible lead. We need to set the responsible example and let everybody else learn from us.
Exactly.
Exactly,
All right?
man. Good words.
So y'all be good to each other, man. Seriously.
All right, take it
If
easy.
we don't know, yo, we don't know how much time we got left in this world. Let's make it worth living. Straight up.
December 21st.
Straight up, man. Just let's enjoy what we got left. Spend it with your family. Spend it with your friends. Appreciate each other and do what you got to do, man. That's it. God be with you all.
All right, man.
All right, and I'm gonna get
Feel better.
Take
I'm gonna get
care.
out of here too. I'm gonna get before I get out of here. I got one thing to say. I'm gonna do a quick intervention here. Bwizz, man. You know I love you, but get off my fucking ass about playing Raiden. I'm gonna be honest with you here, man. Take a character who is not exactly at the top of the food chain. Raiden is definitely better, and I deliver. There's a reason why you do not. Okay, and it's not because you're a bad player. I don't even know what the reason is. But as long as you want to convince yourself that there's nothing, I don't understand how you can look at your poor performances and say there's nothing wrong. Bwizz, something has to be wrong. If someone is a good player, which you are, and as a good player, you cannot deliver, then obviously you are not the master of your character that you think you are, okay? Because if I can take a fish and do well with him, and you can't do it with Raiden, then obviously you are not maximizing on something, right? And that is the fact. So the more you convince yourself that you are the master of all your survey, is the more you're just going to keep falling short. You know, I mean, and you really, you know, you sit there and you say, I don't know why you don't think you deliver. I guess you can get me in this call all you want, Bwizz, but getting you in this fucking call ain't going to have you get out of fucking pools. The only time in your life you've ever gotten out of pools is when you could lose twice and still get back in the winner's bracket. And that's the honest-to-God truth. And you've got to be real with yourself here, man. Look, you know what? If I had your tournament resume, I would want someone like Jimmy to say, look, man, I love you, man, but you got to be honest with yourself here. There's something that, you know, obviously you're not like whatever like you think you are because look at the results here. And I would have to look at those results and understand whatever. You just don't see it. You are supposed to be, I guess you are the only one, or one of the only people that really represents that character. There's Chaos Fear who also represents that character. There are a few other Raiden names that I don't really know off the top of my head. I don't want to go into detail because I don't want to beat people out and make them get upset at me. But you are supposed to be the guy that a lot of people know to as the Raiden guy. And your record is fucking atrocious. All right? I mean, literally. I mean, and it's not trying to put you on blast here, bro. It's the truth. It is the truth, man. You didn't even get, did you even get top 16 at MLG? I don't believe you did. I mean, you didn't get out of your pools at EVO. You've only gotten out of pools once in your life, and it was at a tournament where you can lose twice and still get put back in the winner's bracket. In top 8, man.
Well, what
That's
tournament
bad.
is that? I'm trying to figure out.
That was devastation a year ago. You could lose twice and still make top 8 winners.
I'm not even gonna ask how that works.
I know you lost to Maxer and Scar, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, my point is, Bwizz, there's always something. And I'm not even here calling you bad. What I'm saying is you are a good player. Can we not agree that when a good player cannot deliver, that there's something wrong? You know, because when someone, it's easy to look at someone that's not good and say, you know what the problem is, bro? You're not good. That's an easy solution. When you look at someone that you think is good and you say, you're good, but you're not delivering, something is wrong. There's something you're doing wrong, maybe with your character. Maybe you're not as proficient with him as you think you are, and you don't have every scenario down. Maybe you need to expand your playbook with the character. Maybe you don't have that extra tournament gear with that character because you haven't taken them as far as you think you have. And that's the only thing I can point out to. So in Bwizz, when you want to look at me and you want to say, why don't I go to Raiden, and why don't I show his top 5? Bwizz, you're asking the wrong person that question. You need to, right now, go in your bathroom and look in the mirror and ask that question. Why Bwizz having you taken Raiden and show he's a tournament viable character? That's what you need to do. Don't ask me that question. Ask yourself that question. And that's all I really had to say. I'm not scared to play him. I'm a Sub-Zero player. You're a Raiden player. So act like a fucking Raiden player. Alright? Alright?
Yo, hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
Yo.
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Yo, so you're saying I need to deliver?
You don't have to deliver them. I mean, if you don't want to deliver them, don't deliver. I mean, it's up to you, man. I mean, I'm just saying you haven't delivered. You're a good player. You haven't delivered. There's something wrong. And I really think...
No, but the thing is, you're equating player skill overall with tournament performance. And I think that's a big mistake. Because overall player skill doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to... You know, tournament placings don't overall determine how skilled a player is. And you're making it out to seem like that. I mean, I'll give it to you that, you know, I haven't delivered at tournaments. You know, I fell short or whatever, but I think that's because I personally don't have a lot of, you know, major tournament experience. Maybe I need more experience at tournaments. But as far as Raiden goes, I personally know for a fact that I'm the best there is.
Being the best Raiden there is does not mean you have taken the character as far as you can go.
No. What I'm saying is I'm constantly learning things with him. Over the past year, since the game's release that I've been playing him, I've been constantly innovating, coming up with new shit, coming up with new play styles, everything, dude. And, you know, I mean, Devastation's the only tournament I made top 8 at, but, you know, I know for a fact that I'm the real deal with Raiden, dude.
All right, we didn't come on here to talk about fucking Raiden. We came on here to talk about NEC and everything that's going on. So fuck this Raiden shit right now.
You guys have a good night. Take care.
Well, I'm just saying, dude.
Jimmy, thanks for having me on, man.
We can talk about Raiden next week.
Yeah. Yo, Bill.
Guys, thanks for having me on. It was awesome.
Brady, I got one question for you, Brady. Well, actually, just want to throw this out there. If you DQ yourself for final round, don't expect me to be there. So you can hold that.
I'm hoping that people see how dumb this is and say, this is fucking dumb.
You're not DQing yourself unless you're a fucking idiot.
Hey, Tom, I got a question. When I was talking to you and I think I broke my ankle, what did it sound like?
I thought you got shot. You were like, oh, fuck. It was terrible.
Hey, Brant, you remember a couple of weeks ago when I came out and I said the 16-bit that that I did that Santeria on Rio, so he couldn't win it fucking arena.
Oh no! What are you getting at? This is bullshit.
I told you, don't piss me off.
Oh man. Okay. Well, it's interesting that it happened the same day that. What did you break your nose or something? What happened with you?
Oh, I gashed my head today.
See, we got injured probably on the same time.
It always comes back. It always comes back to you, but I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I have to reflect. I'm an overpowered character, so I shouldn't have that reflect. This is sending it right back to you.
Yeah, but you're blind. You're blind and crippled now.
Jimmy, thanks for having me on. You guys from sitting listening, you got to realize something, man. Jimmy, I got the most respect for you. You guys don't know that this guy was the first ever high-level Mortal Kombat player. This guy deserves all the respect. Jimmy, thanks for having me on. Have a good night.
All right, later, Brady.
Later. Before I go to everybody else, I have a new guy here, and I'm sorry. Glenn,
Right.
I don't know who you are.
Who?
Glenn Famine Swan. Are you there?
I'm here. What's up?
I can barely hear you.
Oh, you can barely hear me.
Now I
hear me
hear you.
good?
Now I hear
There you go.
Oh,
You
there
sound
you
good
go.
now.
Explain who you are. I put you on here just because you hit me up.
Oh yeah, I was harassing you.
What's that?
Said hell yeah, I was harassing you.
No, it's not harassing me, but give us a background who you are.
Yeah, sure. I'm a fighting game fanatic, obviously. That's why I'm trolling. I'm one of the numerous stream monsters. A little about my background. I've been working in the video game industry for about 7 years now, as a community manager for Funcom, where we made MMOs, massively multiplayer online games, and worked on a few esports titles.
Bwizz, you're feeding back.
Carry on. What we said.
Carry on, Glenn.
Oh. Yeah, sure. So yeah, I've been working in video game industry for a while now, and I'm seriously addicted to fighting games. So I've been helping out the crews around in North Carolina, trying to see what they're doing, try to help them get more, I guess, together so they can start making their presence in all the major tournaments around the world.
So now, are you working more towards fighting games, or are you looking to push MMOs?
A little bit of both, of course. Right now, I'm kind of in between positions. I just got done working with the Secret World, which was a title with Electronic Arts and Funcom. So I'm kind of trying to look to see where to go next. But fighting games are kind of like my passion, my hobby. Because I work mostly in community management, where the fighting game community is a pretty robust community in my opinion. So both something I'm a part of, as someone who loves fighting games, and someone who's also a part of it because that's what I do for a living.
Well, you hitting up any tournament scenes? Anything? I mean, like we just had obviously NEC. We had a little bit of a disaster, but to be honest, in my opinion, I enjoyed myself.
I didn't, so it was a major disaster.
Well,
for
fuck
me.
you. I don't give a shit about
I don't give a shit. You were on pills. I wasn't.
That's
Fuck up.
life. Life's a bitch.
Yeah, I hit up a few. A lot of the tournaments I've attended over the past year have been mostly with esports, because I work with Bloodline Champions, which is a little small esports title that's trying to make their way into the scene. But like some of the major tournaments I've been to is like DreamHack in Sweden and so on. I haven't been to too many of the recent majors just because of work. I've been busting my ass trying to get a few games out on Facebook and on mobile with a small little developer in North Carolina. But a large number of our crew here in North Carolina went to NEC and did pretty well actually. I believe someone from North Carolina won the Tekken tournament as well, placed pretty high in a few of the other games like Marvel and Street Fighter.
Okay. You got website that you can turn people onto?
Yeah, sure. I've been trying to hold up a little fighting game blog. I try and give my own opinion about the community, about the whole transition between the fighting game community and going into the esports, of course. So I've been trying let people know what someone like me would think, and so on. And it's on the Famine TEHFAMINE.com. I'm just trying to do my part to try to improve the community, trying to get more people involved, trying to help North Carolina get more players leveling up, which is really important, because of course everything's kind of bulked up in different areas. Like California, you got a lot of players up in New York and so on, and we're trying to expand like everyone else is doing. Just like everyone down in Florida, down in Atlanta, and so on. Because the East Coast definitely hasn't made their mark yet. I think everyone's trying to get together to kind of show that both the East Coast and West Coast has a lot of good players.
Well, in the MK community, I can pretty much vouch to say we are the dominant force between Atlanta and New York, even in the middle there, and we got in the Virginia area, in the Maryland area. We have a predominant force as far as MK players go, and I'm not taking away nothing. Obviously, the West Coast does too, but the presence that we have is, to be quite honest, very robust. From the guy that's on the chat right now, Brant, Ryan, who's in here, Trey, that's in here, Bwizz. These are all top players. Plus, we got. We could make a top 60. I believe we could make a top 60 list of players, and our 60th player on the East Coast could give a run for the money to the top 5 on the West Coast.
Glenn got disconnected.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, Glenn got disconnected, so I'll try to reach back to him in a few minutes. Trey, I'm back to you.
Hey, what's up, man?
Actually, wait. Before we get to Trey, we have Lulzlou. He's been in here before everybody.
Wait, because Hito and Trey are together, and I know Trey's fucking Hollywood, so let him get his piece out. Lulzlou's got to get his hair out of his eyes. That's going to take about 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I can wait.
So let Trey and Hito get their on blast going.
All right.
Yeah, bro. NEC was good, so I had to play the next morning after waiting 12 hours, but I ain't gonna complain about that shit.
You should, I did. Fuck that.
Hey, at least you ain't lose to a random Ermac, but I don't care.
Man, I lost the fucking Winter Wars, man.
7 is not a random Ermac. I am sorry.
Actually, 7's really good.
He's very not.
Would you guys all agree with me that the Outbreak player was Tony T?
Nah, Sonic Fox.
Sonic Fox
Yes,
is already,
Sonic
Fox is already a top dog.
But everybody say he wouldn't make top 8. Look what he did. Come on.
Who said he wouldn't make? Who said he wouldn't make top 8?
A lot of people did. Said he wouldn't make
Why
top
not?
8.
He got third at Summer Jam.
Yeah, he's not. I'm saying Tony T. This was Tony T's first tournament ever.
James, we can't hear you.
Hey, your mic went down, James.
You hear me now?
No.
Yeah, put the mic down your throat and then move it back and forth.
Oh.
How much talk do you fit down there?
How did I fill my room up with a bunch of faggots?
I hear
You hear me now, fuckface?
I love you too.
The reason I say he's the breakout player is because he's never been in a tournament before in his life. That was the first tournament.
I think that's a good pick. If you think about it, because Sonic Fox. I like people misheard what I said first of all on the JustCast. And first of all, Sonic Fox and I are really good friends. Like we train together, we all that stuff. It's like me and any of my people I train with, like me and Mr. Molina, whatever. Like I train online with consistently. But like I always yell at him and tell him that he's an idiot when it comes to the Cabal and Molina matchup. He says, "Well, I destroy with Cabal online, so it's got to be 6'4" Molina or worse 5'5". And I'm like, "No, trust me. You've never played a real Cabal. It's 3-7, Cabal's favor. Rio is the only Cabal you can judge because he's the one who utilizes all the tools." I was like, you can't judge by playing this online guy, whatever, and Kevo the man, and this and that. Okay, it's 3-7. So he said, whatever, I'm going to 2-0 him. I'm going to floss him. And it's funny because he did floss him one round. But the thing is, he lost to him 1-4. Every time I played a Rio with the Molina matchup, it's like 1-3, 1-3, 1-3. He lost 2 series 1-4. So I told him, I was like, listen, man, it's not you, it's not me. I tell you, man, it's a 3-7 matchup. You have to look at the tools. So that's why I blew Sonic Fox up about. But it's nothing about, was he going to get top 8? No, I think he's going to get his back blown out when he went against Rio if he picked Molina. So.
Yeah, I don't say. I mean, Sonic is a solid. Sonic's been a solid player since he came onto the scene.
Sonic's awesome. He's a great kid, great personality. You won't hear him bitch about brackets. You won't hear him bitch about this, that. He's just there to have fun and just wants to be part of the community. He's a good example of what we all should be.
All right, Trepound, who are you gonna?
Well, wait. When you say that, what is that?
Oh my God.
Young black and a wise ass. Is that what we're all supposed to be?
Yeah, we should all be 14 again and talk like we're 24. We should act like we should talk. Actually, the funniest thing that not Trey, you just said Trepound. You put Trey in my mouth. The Sonic Fox, like this is what Sonic Fox does. When he calls me in the afternoon, we're playing games. He'll hear my wife in the background. He does exactly what Limbo does to you about your wife.
Yeah.
Like he'll be like, "Hey, tell him I'm gonna hit her up later tonight. Okay, you don't mind if you just like stay out later?" And I'm like, "You come home and I'm with her." Like that's what Sonic Fox did. Like he's just, I don't know. He's funny. I think he's hilarious. But then I came home and I found him with her.
Yeah, exactly. When that happens, it's a problem.
All right, so back to Trey and Hito.
Thank you. Wow, I'm really interrupted again. There's one person I want to put on blast because I've been hyping them up for the longest to come to the motherfucking tournament, and then they ass flaked. I'm sitting there like, all right, when your ass gonna come? She's like, oh, well, I'm coming later tonight. Blah blah blah, all that shit.
I think I know what you're talking about.
All right, for real. All right, let me know when you get here. Then I hear like 8 different stories from 8 other people. I'm like, don't tell me this chick just motherfucking just flaked on me. Yo, for real.
Who is it, dogs? Talk to me.
Bird songs, bruh.
Fuck that cunt.
Damn.
Whoa.
Damn. Whoa, bruh.
We don't have any words banned here, but that's a word that's very bad.
Hold on. There might be some malice behind that. That's something more personal, because I never known Hito to be saying that word without something.
Yeah, no, James, NEC, Pherleece can confirm. And even Cibernetico can confirm. I'm a nice guy. If someone says anything bad about me, it's like, okay, let me try to settle the situation as peacefully as possible. I don't really get mad at anybody. I don't hate anybody. But this person, my God, I want nothing but just fucking pain and suffering for this person. This is fucking ridiculous. It is fucking child's play.
Okay, wait. So why are you guys mad? I'm trying to figure that out.
Wait, real quick. How does Triforce know about this?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Trepound.
I don't know.
It's the show, man.
That must have been the day he took the red pill.
Why are you guys asking Trepound anything? I know more about the scene. Do you know what happens behind the wall? Do you guys understand what happens when you take the red pill? I took the red pill 25 years ago.
How old are you?
I am 35.
Okay.
Nigga, you sure that wasn't crack that you did by accident, bro?
Yo, you might be thinking about somebody else. I mean.
No, actually, I was thinking about 3 people altogether, but one of them I actually saw there, which I'm going to have to do the reverse on blast, and I'll have to give props to Emperor Outworld because he actually showed up.
Yeah, he told me he spoke to you. I was like, wow, how did that go? He's like, that was pretty cool.
I have to respect that man for that. He actually showed up. I was like, I respect this. What me and him were both upset about is how Tantrum didn't show up. That's what we was upset about.
All this
man, because it's whack. Because we had a nice story and drama going on, and we didn't make nothing of it. It really just died. That whole clan shit could have been some real pop off, but what happened to it? It just nothing. It just whatever. It was whack.
Okay, so why are you guys mad at Bird Songs?
I was mad because she didn't show up. Because I was hyping her up to make me look like a fucking idiot. But Hito got something else apparently. I don't know about this.
Hito, what's going on?
All right, it's a long story and involves many, many people. 2 of them actually being here. One of them's on the stream chat right now. Let's put it this way. She is fucking crazy. She's a chameleon. She plays people left and right. She's not who she says she is, and I'm surprised. I would be surprised if she was actually a female and not some 40-year-old male who just gets his kicks off of just fucking playing with people's minds and shit. Basically, long story short, me and her started talking after I was first brought onto the Down 4 podcast, right? And you know, being as women are, they tend to be flirtatious or whatever, and she started being flirtatious with me. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. She's just doing what girls do and just trying to act cute or whatever. Then certain things got a little serious where we were exchanging pictures, and then one thing led to another, and we wanted to meet each other. So
pictures.
I go down, I take a train, the Amtrak.
Wait. How come you never sent me any pictures of you?
You guys are stupid.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
So I take the Amtrak from New York all the way to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Damn.
To meet this girl. She has me waiting at a train station for 9 fucking hours. 9 hours making bullshit story after bullshit story of why she couldn't come pick me up. It was first that she woke up late and her mom took the car because her car broke down earlier in the week. She was still sick during that week or whatever, and she had to wait till her mom get back, and she had to come back after school. Then she fell asleep in the car, blah, 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 blah. And fucking, you know, I was like, you know what? Fucking, I'm going home. And then she's like, I'll make it up to you. I'll give you back the money via PayPal, and I'll come see you next weekend.
You don't want the money.
I don't want the money, I told her. I'm like, I just want to see you. That's what's it.
Exactly.
I just want to see you and come down here next weekend. So she goes, okay, no problem. So she said she was going to come down, and then this is before Hurricane Sandy and shit. And fucking, you know, she said she was going to come down. We were texting, everything like that. And right when the situation's about to happen where she's supposed to come down, complete silence. She leaves me in the dark. Doesn't say anything, doesn't pick up her phone, nothing. So I was like, what the fuck? Me and her were supposed to go to the whole VSM reunion thing together. You know, she's good friends with Soup. So me and Soup start talking. He goes, I'd be careful, Hito, because she's a flake. I'm like, what do you mean? She's done this and this to certain 2 people, and I just watch it back because I don't want you to get hurt. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take your word because Inseparable never has told me. Me and Inseparable are good friends with each other. I'm going to take his word for it. So I played this, very carefully. So she ditched me again a second time. I said, okay, you know what? Fuck it. She ditched me. I'm not going to bother with this. And then, you know, we started talking still. And then we were supposed to meet again the following week. She was to come pick me up from Queens College. I was supposed to go to her place for the weekend and stay there, and she had me waiting in the cold for 2 hours. I was like, you know what? This chick really is a flake. I'm gonna stop talking to her before this shit gets any, any more problems would arise, right? So I ignore her old text or whatever. She's like craving for attention. She's constantly texting me or whatever. And then, I just give her the cold shoulder. And then finally she's just like, I get why you're not talking to me anymore, blah, 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 blah. But I still want to, talk to you. I still want to be with you, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. Let me come to NEC and make it up to you. So I was just like, this bitch ain't coming nowhere. So this bitch ain't going nowhere.
Wait. I have one question. Have you ever spoken to her via phone?
Yes, via phone, via Skype.
And it was a female voice?
Yes, a female voice with a clitoris. It was everything, the full package. And we've exchanged enough pictures to know that I thought she was a real person. But apparently, she's just some kind of phantom. Or maybe she's Santa, or the Leprechaun, or the Easter Bunny, whatever. They don't exist, and she doesn't fucking exist.
Easter Bunny exists. Hold that.
It could be a dude, right? And whenever you have to call, he explains the situation to a girl, and then the girl ends up talking to you. But you're not talking to the actual person. It's a person. Well, don't feel bad. You know why? I'm gonna make you feel better right now. I flew down to Florida to meet a girl. She stood me up for 3 days. So I was in Florida for 3 days, didn't meet anyone. And I flew to Chicago and got stood up for a girl. So don't feel bad.
Yo, hold on, dog. You broke pimping rule number 1. You never, ever visit a chick first. You never do that. That's pimping rule number 1.
I learned that because then the next time, which was just recently, I flew the girl to me.
Exactly. That's what you're supposed to do.
All right. Well, I got a confession to make. I flew to France to meet this chick, and it was this dude, and I was like, Well, you better suck my dick. I came all the way here.
Chase.
I didn't come all the way here for nothing, motherfucker. We're going balls deep, bitch.
Damn.
I got a bad
Continue what I was saying or whatever. I know the stream chat right now is like, oh, Hito fell in love. What a faggot. Ha ha ha. He got tricked, whatever.
I hate when people even try to say shit like that. Like
But
they don't know
one
this
is
shit.
stream monsters. I'm just gonna ignore it, especially that Justin Lake guy. He's nothing but
After
hearing that story, man, I have to nominate that Derptile hooks up with this troll immediately. So I think that would work out perfectly. Because Derptile doesn't exist either.
Derptile ain't got no swag. No, he exists.
But you know what?
I'm gonna drop another thing. Pherleece, didn't you have a similar situation?
Is he there?
Please dropped off. I don't know where he went.
Hold on a second. So, here's what all I have to say is I know this person is just fucking trying to get in the heads of everybody, whether it's to get attention or to try to make herself look like, I guess, the prettiest girl in the NK scene or whatever. Fucking, I'm just be real with you. If you're listening to this right now, you need to grow the fuck up. You're 19 years old. Act your age. Stop fucking with people's heads, especially these people who've actually gone through some serious shit recently. One person who lost someone who he really cared about. Me losing my father and then losing some girl I actually cared about.
Wait a second. Carrie is saying she said she didn't go to NEC and was sick, but got drunk and went to a concert.
Exactly.
Wait,
Wait,
just wish that she, while she was at the concert, that gallons of semen were drunk that night.
Damn.
And you'll be better.
Damn. Wait.
I'm not
Is what you said fact? Is what you said fact that she didn't go to NEC? She went to a concert and got drunk?
Yeah, went to NEC. She went to a concert, got drunk. She said she come to NEC because she was sick and she pulled some scapuloid flamboyant muscle. I don't know what the fuck it was called, but anyway, like I'm not really hurt about this now. I haven't been hurt about this for the past like half month. I've always only hurt the first time. I'm just trying to expose this person before she tries to troll the rest of the community and splits us apart. Because what Arez said before, we all have to grow up. Before, the community was just a big, humble family. We all loved each other. We all got along. And it's people like this, immature people who are trying to tear this community apart. And I'm trying to expose the truth and let this person know that you are the worst type of person.
On blast.
I don't wish death upon anybody, and I'm not going to wish death upon you. But I hope one day the same shit happens to you. Everything goes full circle, you dumb cunt. Everything goes full circle.
Damn.
I hope your innards come out your asshole and they run on the inside and someone force feeds them down your throat.
No. Don't
Whoa. God damn.
Now, when you say your innards, do you mean like intestines or just like stomach?
No,
Yes.
just let everything go in.
All
Gallons.
right, I have a question. You need to find out if she's real. Now, let me tell you how you do it. Just text her and tell her what you've said and tell her what you've done tonight.
Well, she just messaged me saying, thanks for saying this stuff about me. I said, no problem. You shouldn't be saying that we are in a certain relationship or whatever, and then you're talking to, like, other people in the community saying that I don't matter or we don't have a thing, and you're just fucking trying to be a giant internet slut.
You should say, send me a full body pic to prove that you are who you are, that you've been saying you are.
No,
put a sign
Tell her
on
to come on the On Blast show.
No, if she's
hold on, let me finish talking. And put a sign on the front in front of your shirt and just say it says "fuck Hito." You can't find that picture anywhere on Facebook.
Damn, Bird Songs is Kevin the man.
Oh, damn.
No, she's listening to this right now. I believe she's in the stream chat or not logged on. She's just listening to it. She just messaged me, so she probably heard you too, Pig. So if you want to send me a picture saying you're a fucking asshole, Mario, then go right ahead. Then you proved you're real, but you still played the whole bullshit. I'm a typical gamer girl who's socially inept and doesn't like meeting people in real life because I'm a dumbass.
That's not true. They're not socially inept. They're all socially inept. They all take gallons. Why is this even a topic? She already knows gallons. That's it. She ain't meeting you because she was busy drinking gallons.
Yeah.
It's just, you know what? I'm 22 years old. I don't want to be dealing with high school bullshit for the rest of my life. And I figured, hey, this person's around my age. Maybe, hey, they're a little bit farther, 2 hours out of my way via train. But, let's see if I can make this work or whatever. Maybe they're mentally mature enough. Apparently not. Apparently all women are the same. So you know what?
Whoa. Most women, just say most.
Most women are the same.
Most, not all.
Most.
See, you know what's funny, Hito? Now that what you just said, like you're 20-something years old and you don't want to play these high school things, but when you get to my age, you want to play them again.
Why is that? Because you get bored?
Because you get bored and, and it makes you feel more like a man if you're tapping 20-year-olds.
Nah.
Yeah. Because now you're daddy.
Just, like I said, the main reason me doing this, I'm trying to save most people from the community because I know she was talking to a few other people, and they told me at NEC, like, dude, she said this or whatever, and they know about the situation. They thought it was kind of funny and pathetic at the same time. So I'm trying to save. I'm not going to mention any names because they asked me not to, but you know who you are, and I'm saving your ass. I'm saving everyone's ass in the stream. So you can go troll the Street Fighter community or troll the Marvel community. That game's just a troll anyway, so go troll them. Leave the MKC alone. Go away. No one likes you. Get the fuck out.
She can't troll. She won't be able to troll the Marvel community because they're gonna.
Somebody already
want,
did though.
Is she Asian?
Somebody already did. That was partly in the MK community, but that situation has been dead.
Yeah.
They're gonna want ass up front. She's gonna have to drink gallons before meeting.
Trey, did you guys ever figure out who that one girl was? The fake girl?
Oh, Celeste from Marvel.
Yeah.
I never knew, bro.
Well, you know what's funny is like I sent him, whatever, a message on Facebook and said, "Hey, I see you signed up for Marvel. So like, I take it you're going to be at EVO." This is the EVO when the EVO pools came out, and I was like, "Hey, I heard you signed up for Marvel because I saw your name on there." And she was like, or he was like, "Oh, that's not me. That's some guy trying to be me who might be obsessed with me." And it's funny because like I always wanted to go by that pool and just see who that person was, but I never did. I was, obviously I got other shit on my mind, but man, I really wish I would have gone and did that. Because I just want to go to that person and ask him, like, hey, what's up with this?
I'm just like, this shit's getting out of hand. Like, first we had the whole transsexual MKU thing popping off.
MKU has a lot of that shit.
And, hey.
Damn, niggas is talking under their legs? Shit.
Yeah, Triforce, if you only knew, man.
Is it
the
tuck
thing
and
to
roll?
do.
Let me ask you this: is there a difference if it's a tuck and roll? If that shit's snipped off, it's still a fucking dude, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a dude. I mean,
Come on, man.
Speaking of which, whatever happened to that guy, the AE player who was giving hugs all over Evo last year? Apparently, he looks like a girl. What the hell is his name? The Asian guy.
Oh,
you mean they keep talking about it all the time. What's this chick's name?
Something
what's
cop.
KO Police. There it is. KO Police.
Kyle Police.
Like whatever happened to that? Did the whole novelty just wear off?
Yeah.
No,
now apparently people like CD Jr. said they'd still hit it.
Well,
just cut it off, man.
But the difference is at least that person doesn't hide it. That's what I gotta at least respect about the person. That the person actually is straightforward. You have some of these chicks, man. Like, well, what? No, they're not it's. No, they're not she's or he's. They're it's, right? Or is there what is the politically correct term for them?
Creature of the night.
Confused.
There you go, creature of the night. That sounds good.
Creature of the night.
You guys are stupid.
Drunken one night
Dude,
stand.
you're making this chick out to be like some mastermind. Should I like unfollow this chick or what?
Unfollow this chick. Don't talk to her.
Yeah.
She's probably gonna try
damn,
to
you
get in
saying
your
she a
team.
trap, son?
I
God damn.
was about to ask you, should I
I'm gonna
unfollow?
take you off my buddy list.
Yo, block her on Facebook, bro.
Yeah, word.
Transgender. There it is.
Damn, y'all going hard on the girl. I mean,
No, that's the best way to hurt
Trey, you know the details. You should expose.
I mean, the first
Yeah,
part,
good.
yeah, but I ain't know about this, my nigga.
No,
Like,
no,
You
this,
know
this-
about this at all, really?
She ain't telling me shit. Listen.
Transformer.
Hold on, listen. I know about the first two people because I've checked her ass on it. I ain't know about you, bro. I haven't talked to her about you. She's like, oh yeah, we're cool and shit.
So
And
you
then
had
she
the
ain't
balls
never
and the audacity to lie to Trey after he told you not to do this anymore. You're some piece of work. This is crazy, dude. This is actually kind of funny.
Gallons.
Look, it's a good thing you probably didn't meet her. I mean, what if she was ugly? Fucking teeth coming out her ears. But
I have an ear.
about
What the fuck?
I like the way.
Oh my God.
I will say something. I like the way you came at her. The reason why is because just having this conversation with her and deading her in private does not hurt them. They feel they're invincible. When you do shit like this on blast in public, in front of everyone, because of their thirst for attention, it
it hurts them so much. Eventually, this is what they do. They creep back into the troll hole that they come from, and what they do is they wait for a while to see if they come back. Or, like I said earlier in our conversation with my Agent Smith poem, when they suck up all the resources in one community, and to survive, they simply spread to another. So that's what's going to happen to her. So the good news is, if she goes to the Marvel community, they will whore her out, because most of the guys want pussy up front before they even talk to them. So in order for her to get her attention, she'll have to put out. And it all comes down to gallons. That's what it all comes down to. So don't worry about it. What you did was good shit.
You keep saying that.
Gallons.
Basically.
Gallons.
I mean,
granted, guys, granted, I could have handled the situation a little bit better. You know, I'm just angry, but you know what? I have the right to be. Although these people on the stream chat are trolling me or just trolling her in general, I'm going to ask you guys this. And this is coming from my heart, because I see the good in every person. There's good in this person too. Don't troll her. Don't message her saying how the hell you're gonna flake on all these people. You know, leave her alone.
No,
I'm just trying to
Dude,
expose.
you just called her a cunt. What the fuck?
Dude, no, they have to do that. They don't go back and feel sorry for her, because that's what you're doing right now. No, she has to get hit with this. People have to troll her, so she now knows what it feels like when you do it to someone. That's how she learns her lesson. Some people cannot learn unless they experience the repercussions of their dumbass action. So everyone in the stream chat, Triforce is telling you, troll the shit out of this girl.
Wait.
Until
So Hito
ostracizes her.
Hito, hold on. Hito, so now that I know, because I didn't know the whole story, I remember like we talked when that shit happened. I just got to give you this.
I can't even understand what that's saying.
His name is Hito, he must have a fucking Arez. Traveling all day to get some pussy. But he got none. Now he's stuck in Pennsylvania. He can't get home. That's too bad. The fucking bitch is really sad. Stop, bitch.
Yo, you heard it here first. JamessMK is OBS homeboy Tyson.
That's awesome. He must have a fucking Arez. Traveling all day to get some pussy.
Yeah, I heard this shit in NEC. That's pretty funny, not gonna lie.
Can't get home. That's too bad. The fucking bitch is really sad. Stop, bitch. His name is Hito Source. He must have a fucking Arez. Traveling all day.
And that was dedicated to you, Hito.
Thank you very much. I'm so loved.
I thought of you.
Hito.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel bad for Bwizz, because we're all sitting here talking about this. I feel salty about what Brady said.
Yeah, Brady did a hit and run on you, man.
Now, Bwizz is thinking about next week. It's going to be Republican versus Democrat. You choose whoever the hell it is, and they're going to go at it.
This happens to...
Go ahead, what were you going to say?
I was going to say this has happened to probably almost everyone. Everyone's at least met one girl who has fucked with them like crazy, and this is my one girl who's, trolled me. Everyone's been through it. People are laughing right now. Ah, ha, ha.
I agree. It's happened to me once in my life.
Yeah, it's happened to Derp Tile. It's probably happened to Big Frog. It's happened to Brant. It's happened to Bwizz. Hell, it could happen to Cibernetico or James. I mean, it all happened.
Oh, yeah.
I know one person it never happened to.
Who?
Homeboy Tyson.
Revolver.
Damn.
Fuck bitches. It's happened to Sonic. It's happened to Sonic Fox.
Wait, what?
Sonic Fox.
What? Already? What the fuck? The young buck, man.
Wait, she went after Sonic Fox? That's pedophilia right there. What the fuck?
No, dude, what if we found out it has? That'd be crazy, man. It'd blow up.
Exposed.
That was a serious blow up.
Since I have Brand here, I know I spoke to you earlier. Next week I'm packed. I got a lot of shit going on. I'm actually probably gonna have 3 guests on at once. I know you wanted to talk a bit about final round.
Well, I want to talk with Tom. I know he's gone, but basically what I was saying, and Big D still here, so he was kind of in on the conversation. We talked a little bit about on JustCast last night. We recorded it. I don't know, man. The way I look at it is, like, I've thought about what if MK is not at Evo, then I'll just back out of the tournament and just say, all right, I'll run final round, because I'm not going to get C points. It's not going to be, I'd rather everyone else have a good time. I can just play casuals all weekend with people. But then if it is at Evo, no, I'm going to play. And I'm not going to do brackets because I don't want my hand in it, because that's just weird, and I don't like the conflict of interest. And what I did last year was turn in seeds from locations and this and that, and apparently people said I rigged it because 2 Katana players ended up my brackets, which is kind of funny because I had the same exact bracket in Chicago 4 months later for UFGT, which obviously Keats would hand slap me if I touched his bracket, So you think about the logic here, but at the same time, I get what Tom's saying, but at the same time, it's kind of like this. And then I was like, well, that's stupid. Why should I take myself out of a tournament, enjoy an experience, and then say the tournament happens and say someone makes second or third place that people might know might be. Oh, I'm gonna take Mr. Molina. Okay, everyone knows I'm friends with Mr. Molina a lot, and we train a lot together. And what if Mr. Molina makes second place? Like, oh, obviously Peg rigged it for Mr. Molina, and then I lose out both ways. I didn't play in the tournament, and I obviously rigged it for Mr. Molina because I'm friends with him. So it's just kind of a lose-lose situation for me. So I was talking to Shinblanc about it for a long time today. We talked about it for like an hour or two, and